It kills off the nitrogen-fixing bacteria that make the soil fertile. It releases a lot of nitrogen into the air, and because of this damage, industrial organic farmers have to add a lot of nitrogen fertilizer to their fields. Where do they get it? From compost manures or fish meal. Most of the organic food sold in America comes from farms like Greenways. Supermarket chains like Whole Foods or Walmart are not set up to do business with dozens of small family-owned farms. It takes too much time and money to coordinate. It makes much more sense for them to buy large suppliers like Cascadian. And for the same reason, it's much easier for Cascadian to buy its produce from large farms like Greenways. To meet the demands of their customers, Greenways has to farm on an industrial scale. It must plant one or two crop varieties that ripen at the same time. It must plant foods that can survive shipment across the country. It must buy fertilizer from someone else instead of getting it from animals on the farm. Again, Gene Kahn and many other people think it is just fine. After all, because of companies like his, thousands of acres of American farmland are now chemical free. Organic food can now be found in most supermarkets. Surely that is a very good thing. I learned more about the industrial organic system when I visited Earthbound Farm. Earthbound grows 80% of the organic lettuce sold in America. You may have seen some of it in plastic boxes in your supermarket. You could argue that Earthbound represents industrial organic farming at its best. The company was started in the 1980s by Drew and Myra Goodman, two farmers who started with exactly no farming experience. They are childhood friends from New York City who started dating, and when they both went to college in California. During a break before going to grad school, they started a roadside organic farm on a few rented acres, growing raspberries and baby salad greens. Every Sunday, Myra would wash a bag of lettuce for their own use, a salad for each night of the week. They discovered that the whole leaf lettuce stayed fresh right through to dinner the following Saturday. So began the pre-wash salad business in America. Before the Goodmans, salad for most Americans meant iceberg lettuce. They introduced dozens of different salad mixes to mainstream America. Along the way, they changed the way lettuce were grown, harvested, cleaned, and packed. And today, Earthbound is a company that takes in 400 million a year. I mean, Myra Goodman, now a tanned, talkative 42-year-old, over lunch at the company's roadside stand in Carmel Valley. Unlike Cascadian Farm, Earthbound still grows its own produce. Most of its farmland is an hour northeast of Carmel in the Salinas Valley. That fertile valley is cooled by sea breezes, making it an ideal spot for growing lettuce 9 months of the year. In winter, the company picks up and moves its operation and many of its employees south to Yuma, Arizona. Myra explained that Earthbound Farms growth exploded in 1993 when the Costco chain placed an order. Costco was moving 2,000 cases a week to start, Myra said, and the order kept coming. Other chains like Walmart, Lucky, and Albertson soon followed. The Goodmans realized that their days of washing lettuce in the living room were over. We didn't know how to farm on that scale, Drew told me, and we needed a lot more land, fast. So the Goodmans entered into a partnership with growers who knew how to grow, harvest, pack, and distribute large quantities of produce. As part of the deal, the growers had to agree to change to organic farming methods. If you include all the farmland growing fruit and vegetables for Earthbound, it comes to a total of 25,000 organic acres. The Goodmans estimate that this has eliminated more than 270,000 pounds of pesticides and 8 million pounds of petrochemical fertilizer that would otherwise have been applied to those fields. The Earthbound farmland looks like a giant patchwork of color: dark green, burgundy, pale green, blue-green. Each color block is a different type of lettuce. The lettuce is grown and raised in beds. Each bed is 80 inches wide and smooth and flat as a tabletop. Workers use a laser to make sure they are perfectly level. That's so the custom-built harvester can snip each leaf at precisely the same point. To control pests, 1 out of every 7 beds is planted with flowers. The flowers attract lacewings and a type of fly that eats the lettuce-eating bugs. Pesticides, even the ones allowed by the USDA organic rules, are seldom sprayed. The leaves are harvested with a machine that Earthbound designed. It moves down the rows, cutting the baby greens at the same point just above the crown. Spidery arms gently rake through the bed in advance of the blade, scaring off any mice that might find their way into the salad. The leaves are blown into plastic trays, and the trays are loaded by hand to the refrigerator trucks. From that point, they will be refrigerated until they reach your supermarket. Once filled, the trucks deliver their cargo of leaves to a processing plant. Their leaves are sorted, mixed, washed, dried, and packaged. The whole plant is kept at 36 degrees because of the refrigeration. The employees, most of them Mexicans, are dressed in full-length down coats. The plant washes and packs 2.5 million pounds of lettuce a week. That is a truly amazing amount of lettuce. It also represents a truly amazing amount of energy. Think of the electricity bill to refrigerate a 200,000 square foot plant. Think of the diesel fuel needed to truck all that salad to supermarkets across the country or to manufacture the plastic containers it's packed in. A 1-pound box of pre-washed lettuce contains 80 calories of food energy. Growing, chilling, washing, packaging, and transporting that box of organic salad to a plate on the East Coast takes more than 4,600 calories of fossil fuel energy, or 57 calories of fossil fuel energy for every calorie of food. What could be more healthy than eating a salad? It's basically a bunch of leaves eaten raw, and organic salad has to be even better, right? Still, the idea of packing lettuce in plastic boxes and shipping it 5 days and 3,000 miles away doesn't feel very organic to me. Like Jean Han, Drew, and Myra Goodman make no apologies for the way they do business. Their company has done a world of good for its land, its workers, the growers it works with, and its customers. But is this the kind of organic that's the best we can do? Before I could make up my mind, I had to visit one more industrial organic farm. I was on my way to meet Rosie, the organic chicken.